says no to that. Nobody.
So they usually ask you to get you to go.
Yeah, sure. And you know, the interesting part, they give you the correct address. They don't give you a bogus address. And you can start dripping on him that day. Now think about it. Do that 5 times a day, every single day. You're going to make huge inroads in this business with a small business. And I didn't feel uncomfortable. Did that look unprofessional to you, Joe? Did you feel like you would feel unprofessional doing that? And I just made contact with 2 more businesses. So I want to encourage you guys to think about that. And if you have any problems, call me.
You could ask for their card if they were business people.
Absolutely.
You have a card?
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, sure. Here.
And that's the easiest way, is ask for the card.
9 times out of 10, they ask for the name or number.
And they have their cell phone number on it. Okay, let's go on. You think I ought to click again, Mr. Schwartzman?
Yes.
Okay, just checking.
Video's not working.
I had this happen, but then when I go over like this.
Manually operated.
Why?
I'm really excited for you about everything that we've covered so far. Why? Because the program's tremendous value in it.
2 of them.
That's what I generally hear in my head all the time.
That explains a lot.
Okay, let's go back.
I think the one probably had a comment.
Hopefully you have a pretty good understanding now of how the plans work, because you still need to go back and review the plan contract. Now we're going to talk a little bit more about marketing the plan. You're probably saying, where do I find my prospects? How do I get started? Well, turn to the prospecting section of your training manual. Prospecting is a very important part of what you do. You've got to have exposure and let people know about our programs and what we're doing. I think it's actually more important for you to become a great prospector than it is for you to become a great salesperson. Why? Because this program does not really need to be sold. You need to find out about people's problems, their needs, their desires as business owners, and show them the solution that will work for them. So really the job is to find people and educate them and let them buy it, and then help them to use the program. Go out and look for business owners that have problems. We have solutions. The people that you call on and tell about what we do will usually fall into 1 of 3 categories. Hey, this looks pretty interesting. Nick, I'd like to hear more about it. Or Nick, I appreciate your time, but today's not a good time. I just moved in, I just moved out, just got a divorce, just got a job, just lost a job, just started my business, just closed my business. Whatever the reason, it's not a good time for them right now. The last category is made up of people who are not interested now and don't seem like they will be in the future, or just people you don't want to do business with. Now let's talk about your warm market. This really is one of the first steps you should take when you're launching your business, because the warm market is made up of people that you already have credibility with. These are people that you know. They're your neighbors or other parents on your child's sports team. The toughest part of our business is getting in the door to show the value. These are the people who will let you in right away. Why? Because they have a need for what our service provides. Let's say they need a website. We can show them an efficient, convenient, affordable way to get a very professional looking site online with our website builders. You don't need to sell that, you just need to show it and fill a need. Let's say they have a debt collection issue. We have the best way for them to handle that issue. You don't sell this to people. They will want to buy it once they see what the service can do. The toughest part is reaching the decision maker. Develop a warm market list. Just because someone knows you or is a relative of yours doesn't mean that they're obligated to buy from you. At least that's the way I feel. But if I know you and you're my friend, I don't have to call you with some big sales pitch and presentation. It can simply be, hey Will, Nick here, when can I get with you? I want to talk to you about something. It can be that simple. Those are the kinds of people that you want to have on your warm market list. They're great assets to you as you get started in your business. Now, sit down and talk to these people. Let them know what we do. You want to look at this as the grand opening for your business. Now, even if you were going to open a daycare center, you'd probably send me a notice about a grand opening, even if you knew I couldn't come, or even if you knew I didn't have children, because some of my friends with kids, they might want to know about your daycare center, and I might refer some business to you that way. So you want to have a grand opening for your business, and you do that by letting people in your warm market know about what you're doing. Additionally, if you see the value in our program, you'll want the people close to you to know about this service so that they can benefit from it. Make a list, don't prejudge. List everyone you know and then sit down and review that list. Then categorize the list so that you can pick the top 10 or maybe 20 in your warm market that would be a good fit for one of these plans. Then always keep adding to your warm market. This can be the hub, the core of the new business that you're starting. Now let's talk about another kind of a beginning step. Follow your dollar, or FYD. Where do you spend your money? Once again, just because you spend your money with me doesn't mean I have to spend my money with you. But this is a great way to start talking to business owners who already know you. When you tell me that you appreciate my business as my insurance agent or my dry cleaner, my mechanic, whatever, but then you tell me that we don't talk to salespeople, or I don't have 15 minutes to listen to what you're telling me that you do, you really don't appreciate me or my business. So if I spend money with you, that should make it a much easier situation for me to go in and set up an appointment. It could simply be, Will, I've been doing my dry cleaning here for quite a number of years. I know what you do. I'm not sure that you know what I do. Do you? No? Well, what we do is we help small businesses save time, money. I wanted to sit down with you and show you what I do. And if it's something that fits for your business, fine. If it's not, at least you'll know what we offer and you might be able to refer me to someone. Fair enough? If I just do that in a non-confrontational, non-sales, or non-pressured way, and they still don't want to see me, I'll tell them, look, I've been doing business here a long time. Is my patronage to your business worth 15 minutes of your time? Yes or no? If it's not, I can get another dry cleaner or another insurance agent to take care of my stuff. They don't have to buy with me, but I appreciate their courtesy in allowing me to show them what I do. Follow your dollar. Now let's talk about lists now. You have a lot of lists out there. They're available to you to help you grow your business. Who should I call on? Let's say you call on one printer. Here you can get a list of other printers in the area. You can go to the phone book. You can go to a trade association journals and follow up on a particular business type. Many associates will become members of multiple chambers in order to network with like-minded business people throughout their area. There are websites you can use, one of which is a service called Reference USA, which you can access through your local library. The only cost to you in many areas is having a library card. This program allows you to find businesses by geographic area, type of business, business size, and so on. Another great site that can be accessed by anyone from their personal computer is Manta.com. This site provides information similar to that on Reference USA, and lists are a great way to prospect. Now what about cold calling? Typically a cold call involves you calling on someone that you do not know and talking with them about our service. You can do this with a list that you generated, or you can go right down Main Street, from door to door. You're looking to speak with the business owner. Know what you're going to say and be prepared to answer their objections. Really, a cold call is just a call you make on someone that could be a future client or friend. You never know until you try. Nobody's going to hit you on the head if you try, as long as you're courteous with them and you're professional. We've all had call reluctance or been afraid of rejection, but it's not the end of the world. Failing is just a step towards success, an important step towards success. Cold calls also give you a chance to meet new prospects every single day. Even if you don't have other lists, there's always something you can do. Say you're early for an appointment, you can make a cold call. Say appointment's canceled, you can make a cold call. There's always something that you can do. Prospects that you may not even know exist. Be sure about your product. Know the value of the product, and you'll be comfortable going into any of these businesses and speaking with the owners. No matter how professional and successful that business owner is, they don't know as much about your product and the value as you do.
Now, third party. Steve, what do you mean? Talk to us. What's third party?
When you go to your warm market, depending on what you've done previously for a living, and even if you are a professional, they know you
I'm
as
excited for you.
they know you as that person. They know me as an insurance agent, not a legal expert. So they know, like, and trust you, but they don't necessarily think you're competent. So use a third party. Call someone in your upline, your sponsor, or somebody that's good. Call Mr. Hughes if he was in your upline. You'd want to bring him in on everyone because he is the legal expert. Because in that way, you have a much better shot at actually getting that application.
Lots of ways, especially when you're armed with the knowledge that you guys have now, especially when you're armed with a posture and feeling good about what you're doing, as we talked about in my example and a little bit of role playing there. So let's go on. Marketing plans, mastering prospecting methods. That seems to be in our mind, that seems to be a real mountain to go over. How am I gonna master, how am I really gonna become as good as Joe Campana? And you become as good as you can possibly become yourself by feeding yourself with information, this kind of class, the type of people you associate with. The type of people you associate with. If I'm with Steve and Steve is not talking positively about his insurance business, he hates the business, he hates what he does, he hates calling on people, that's not the kind of person to be around. Change those friends. And get around people that are thinking along with you. Also, I highly recommend a workout partner. Since I changed, added a workout partner, which is Denny Hennessy, he's a small business guy, and Denny Hennessy, my production is double. That was from last May. Double. His is triple. He's better than I. Okay? All right, so let's go on. Networking and referrals, I think we've talked enough about that. Let me just go on and get through these short little clips. Okay, where's the cursor? There it is.
Let's now talk about who you know that's a center of influence. You may say, well, what's that, Nick? Well, a center of influence is someone who is at the center of an influential group. They have contacts. For example, a small business banker that deals with business owners on a daily basis. If you have an account with this banker, you'll be able to go and sit down with them. If you have an account at the bank, you can get in to talk to somebody. So you don't have to be a great salesperson or have some great sales presentation developed. All you have to do is go into the bank and ask to speak with the manager for a couple of minutes. Tell them that you know they deal with a lot of small businesses and you want to let them know what you do because you have a service that can help small business owners. Really, this step just involves getting to and sitting down with the people around you who can influence your target market. It could be people in your local chamber. It could be heads of trade associations. It could be that banker that you deal with. Anyone who is perceived as a leader by your target customers would be a center of influence. Now let's talk about networking. I'm talking about networking as it applies to making connections with others at events like after-hours group, chamber events, or leads clubs. You'll see these events listed in your local newspapers all the time. These events will bring you together with other business owners and they allow you to talk about whatever it is that you do. Sometimes you can even give a minute or two or 3 or 4 minute overview of your products and your services. These places often become referral engines for you and others in the group. But you've got to remember, you also need to be there to help other people. They're there for the same thing, to generate customers, to generate clients, to generate leads, and to increase their network of people that they know. A chamber event gives you the opportunity to meet people in a non-selling, no-pressure environment. People don't like to be sold, but I'm sure you agree, people do like to buy, you and I do. They like to buy from people that they like, that they trust. They'll like and trust you more when they're able to get to know you, especially in a networking type event environment. Many associates that are uncomfortable doing cold calls use networking to continually grow their warm market. If you're out in the community and familiarizing yourself with other business owners at these events, you're going to have more success than anyone who is not. You can find these events in local newspapers and become a part of these groups. Here's something that you and I both do. If you find a good dentist or doctor, you tell people about them, right? Or sometimes people will ask, do you know a good doctor? And you'll say, yes, I do, and you recommend your doctor to them. Referrals are a wonderful way to do business. Your closing ratio is going to be substantially higher if you're dealing with 10 to 20 referrals than if you're dealing with 10 to 20 cold calls. The warmer the call that you've got, the better probability that you have for making a sale and helping that individual, because you've already received an endorsement from someone that prospect trusts. One of the things that many people need to learn is how to ask for referrals. I find that a lot of people, especially if you're new to this type of business, ask for referrals in the wrong way. They'll ask a question like, who do you know who might want to buy one of these plans? It's not the responsibility of the person you're asking to tell you or to think about who would be a good prospect for you. That's your responsibility. You need to help them think. We've got some scripting down here that I want to go through with you. And instead of saying who would be a good prospect, you need to be specific and make this easy for the person you're speaking with. You can say something like, Mr. Johnson, I'm planning on calling on the pet store next to you. Who owns that store? how long have they been in business? You could say something like, who's the best salesperson